South Africa 2, Lesotho 0. Just to give you my 2 cents, I think we are top of the group now. Obviously, what we want to do is qualify automatically, meaning we should secure a #1 finish in the group so that we qualify automatically for the FIFA World Cup. But we are on 10 points. Unfortunately, we do still have to play Benin away, which is a very tough challenge. I think Benin away and Nigeria is probably our most difficult fixtures. And if we're looking at it, Nigeria for me fears, right? For me, Nigeria is the only team that gives me concern. Why? Simply because they've had a very bad start to the tournament, to the qualifying phase, but it looks like they can get it clicking. Now, they've just won 2-0 against Rwanda away. Victor Osimhen scored 2 goals, and if you're aware of Victor Osimhen, if you've been keeping up, if you're tapped in, you would realize that he's actually smashing goals there in Turkey for Galatasaray. So he's a huge danger, and I think Nigeria, when they click, they are our biggest threats. I think they definitely are biggest threats together with Benin. You also heard Coach Hugo Bross saying himself that Benin away and Nigeria maybe is not the type of game to throw Mufokeng into that pressure, into that fire. I don't know what you think about that, because you have players like Lamine Yamal, who's 17 but he's already a starter at Spain. He started at the Euros, quarterfinal, semi-final, and final, and he played and he delivered. So I don't think it's about his age, but everyone develops, differently. Is Mufokeng the best winger for us right now for Bafana Bafana? I'm not sure. I still think that's Apollos, right? So I think the starting spot needs to go to Apollos at the moment. My point is that if you look at it, we are 2 points away from Benin, and we do play them away. So it is a dangerous game, but we are 4 points away from Nigeria. 4 points is nothing. Nigeria can win 2 games, and we can drop points in those 2 games, and it looks like they could catch up. So it's still not safe, but for me, I trust Bafana Bafana. I think this Bafana Bafana squad with Hugo Bross is absolutely trustworthy. We need to thank Coach Hugo Bross for the changes that he's made dramatically. He's made dramatic changes, drastic changes to our Bafana Bafana, to our confidence, to how we play football, to our mentality, and how we approach games. I did say the 3rd place finish at AFCON was absolutely a huge achievement. It was a huge achievement. It was superb performance from the players and the coach. I do actually think that we should have beaten Nigeria in 90 minutes. We didn't have to go lose it on penalties, because if you think about it, if we beat Nigeria in those semi-finals, then we can probably beat Ivory Coast in the final and win the AFCON. So I think it was a huge opportunity missed by us with the squad of players that we have. Everyone is performing in Bafana Bafana right now. Everyone can sense the positivity around the squad, the national team. The stadiums are full. They're getting sold out. Did you see how full the stadium was? Did you see how full the stadium was? And I think there's one more game. It's Nigeria on the 25th. And again, that is a huge game. So the fans still, if you are able to go to the game, do turn up. Let's get the stadium to be sold out again and help, the boys maintain the good performance. I think the vibes are absolutely perfect for South African football, not just for Bafana Bafana, but also in the PSL. You see stadiums getting sold out time and time again. And even with Chiefs fans, Chiefs might not be having a perfect season, but shout out to the fans who actually still commit to going to the games time and time again and supporting their team. So football in South Africa has definitely improved, right, over the past 2 years. So now on to Mufokeng, who had a great performance. Mufokeng scored, as well as Jaden Adams, 2 youngsters, 2000 born players have delivered for South Africa in a World Cup qualifier. Absolutely amazing stuff that's happening with the development of our South African talents. I think Coach Hugo Bross did say the only issue is that we don't have goalkeepers. We don't have young, talented goalkeepers coming through the academies, coming through the lower leagues. Something needs to be done about that, that's for sure. But I think Mufokeng's performance was good, and I think the timing by Hugo Bross to give him his first start couldn't have been better. Look at what that meant to him, and look at the performance he delivered. He even scored his first goal on his first start. He said, he didn't want to throw him under the bus in the very difficult, huge games with all the pressure. I mean, it's a very safe approach that Hugo Bross is taking with Mufokeng. He's being very careful in how he handles him, and he throws him. He doesn't just throw him into, it's not like a baptism by fire, right? So he's carefully handling the brand that is Mufokeng, and I like it, and I really like it. So he was saying that, for example, against the more tougher games, Mufokeng might not normally start, because he still needs to get used to the national team and, how everyone plays. He's not a regular starter for the national team, but he's doing well. He's playing well at Pirates. He is a regular and a starting 11 player at Orlando Pirates. So it's not like he's not able to handle pressure. He went to Al Ahly in Cairo and he scored a winning goal, right? So there therefore it shows you he is capable, but Hugo Bross just wants to be careful with the young players and how he manages them, the squad. I think Jaden Adams also had a good performance. So in general, I think the game, as a summary, was fairly comfortable for Bafana Bafana. Lesotho is not necessarily the most challenging of opponents, but respect to them, you have to beat who's in front of you, and South Africa completely dominated the game. Lesotho didn't really have much chances. South Africa dominated possession, chances created, shots at goal and shots on target, and obviously deserves the win. So 3 points is the most important thing. South Africa go top of the group so far, 2 points ahead of Benin, and there is a home game left. So if you're looking at all the games that are remaining for South Africa, remember there are second legs in the World Cup qualifying stage. Lots of games still remaining, and the good thing is South Africa technically will play 4 of those games in South Africa, simply because Lesotho and Zimbabwe would have to play their games in South African stadiums, right? So in a way, that is a slight advantage for Bafana Bafana, and also they have Bafana Bafana, we still have 2 home games still remaining. So out of the games that are remaining, I think we have 4 at home, which is a huge advantage for us, and definitely we should try win all our home games and not lose away, just to make sure we secure the first position finish, right? We do not want to finish second, because then we don't know what would happen at the knockout stages. If you remember what they did to us with Ghana, remember what happened to us at Ghana for the last FIFA World Cup qualifying. We don't want that drama. We don't want to be potentially robbed. We don't want to put ourselves in that situation anymore, because even if we report it, nothing comes up, right? Because we reported the robbery to FIFA. They said no, conclusive evidence. So nothing was done. There was no replay. Ghana went to the World Cup. We lost out narrowly by that penalty. So, we don't want to put ourselves in those positions again. We don't want to do that. So secure the first place finish. If we finish second, we could get teams like Senegal or Morocco. We could get teams like Senegal or Algeria, depending on where they finish in their own groups. We don't want to put ourselves in situations like that. Rather, let's get the automatic finish and secure South Africa's spot at the World Cup. It's been so long since we've been at the World Cup, since 2010, but we know we only qualified 2010 because we were hosts, and we want to prove everyone wrong. South African football is on the come up with local based players who are able to go to Africa and finish third, with majority of the team being players that play in South Africa. So for sure, let's go show the world our talents. So again, great performance by South Africa, great performance by Hugo Bross. Everyone's doing well so far. Can we just keep it up? Big game upcoming against Nigeria. With that being said, thank you and bye-bye.